You're listening to All Things Investing, the podcast that makes money talk simple, smart, and actionable. Whether you're just getting started or leveling up your portfolio, we've got you covered with tips, strategies, and no-fluff advice. Let's grow your wealth, one episode at a time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack the sources, the research, really the insights that are reshaping how we understand the world. And today, we're diving deep into these powerful currents that are fundamentally reshaping our economy. I mean, we're living through this really extraordinary period, right? Technological leaps, big policy shifts, consumer behavior is just evolving so fast. So what really defines the economic landscape right now, we're definitely seeing these powerful currents. Technology transforming things, policy shifts, consumer behavior changing. It's reshaping whole industries, from AI retooling entire sectors, cybersecurity becoming absolutely mission critical, renewable energy hitting growth rates we've never seen before, and, communication services just redefining how we connect, how we consume content. It's a really dynamic time to figure out where the opportunities are.
Absolutely. It's a confluence of factors, really.
Yeah. So our mission today really is to break down 7 key sectors, the ones showing immense growth, significant returns, and, incredible future potential. We'll explore the trends, sift through the data, and most importantly, help you understand not just what's surging, but why it's surging.
Right. The why is key.
Exactly. And what it all means for your future. So whether you're an investor looking for that next big thing, or maybe an entrepreneur trying to find the right market, or honestly just someone curious about where the economy's heading, this deep dive is really tailored for you. Let's begin. Okay, so let's kick us off with the sector everyone seems to be talking about, artificial intelligence.
The elephant in the room, yeah.
Pretty much. If there's one area that feels like a truly foundational shift, it's AI. And I'm not just talking about the big headline companies everyone knows.
No, it's much broader.
Exactly. The AI revolution is happening across pretty much every industry you can imagine. I mean, the global AI market, it's projected to nearly triple between 2025 and 2030. We're talking about reaching an annual market volume of nearly $827 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not just growth. It's like an economic force the size of a small country emerging in just a few years. It really shows AI becoming like the new operating system for industries globally.
And a key dynamic here, something really interesting emerging alongside this growth, is what many are calling the great AI race, between the global superpowers.
U.S. versus China, primarily.
Primarily, yes.
Yes.
While the United States currently has a strong lead in the quantity of notable AI models released, Chinese models are closing that quality gap incredibly fast. So get this. In January 2024, the top U.S. model outperformed the best Chinese one by over 9 percentage points. Pretty significant. But by February 2025, just over a year later, that gap shrunk to less than 2%.
Less than 2%. That's incredibly fast convergence.
It really is. And this isn't just about, who has the better tech. It's about the formation of entirely new competitive landscapes where the speed of innovation is just absolutely critical.
And that speed really seems to be playing out in the development of these AI agents you mentioned. A new generation coming in 2025, able to handle tasks for us. You describe them as the apps of the AI era. Can you give us maybe a real-world example, something that might transform a common business process people don't immediately think of?
Sure, absolutely. Let's think about a small business. They spend hours maybe on customer service follow-ups or scheduling.
Right, it happens all the time.
So an AI agent, fed with their specific product knowledge, could not only answer common customer questions instantly, but it could also proactively schedule appointments based on customer availability and the service needed, all without a human stepping in until, maybe a really complex issue comes up.
Okay, so that frees up the human staff for higher value stuff.
Exactly. It fundamentally revolutionizes how small to medium businesses can operate.
Yeah.
And this profound integration of AI, whether it's these agentic systems or just broader applications, it's driving massive, massive infrastructure demand.
Infrastructure meaning?
Well, Deloitte estimates data centers alone will drive about 44 gigawatts of additional demand by 2030.
44 gigawatts, just from data centers.
Just from data centers.
Yeah.
And put that in perspective. Current estimates for 2024 are around, say, 26 to 33 GW. That's projected to jump to maybe 60 to 80 GW by 2030.
Wow. That's a huge leap.
It is. And it creates this significant ripple effect across energy, real estate, the semiconductor sectors. So connecting this to the bigger picture, AI isn't just another tech trend. It's a foundational shift. It's creating new markets, transforming existing ones. And the companies, the sectors that effectively integrate AI capabilities, they're just unequivocally positioned for outsized returns.
That huge demand for AI data centers.
Yeah.
Well, as we'll get into, it's creating this urgent need for reliable power. But, as this digital transformation accelerates, with AI as the engine, there's a vital question. How do we protect it all?
The security aspect.
Exactly. That's where cybersecurity comes in. And folks, this business is absolutely booming. The global cybersecurity market is projected to grow by over 7.5% annually between 2025 and 2029. That means a market volume approaching $272 billion by 2029.
That's steady growth, but
Right. But that steady growth rate, it almost understates the urgency driving this sector. The reality check is pretty stark. In 2023, U.S. companies lost $12.5 billion to cybercriminals.
$12.5 billion.
Yeah, and that's up dramatically from $4.2 billion in 2020. It just clearly shows that the demand for really robust cybersecurity is accelerating right alongside the rising tide of cybercrime.
And the data isn't just about, more threats. It's about a fundamental shift where trust, something we used to maybe assume, now has to be actively earned and protected with technology.
That makes sense.
Take the explosion of AI-related incidents. According to the AI Incidents Database, these jumped to 233 in 2024. That's a record high, a 56.4% increase just over 2023.
And these aren't just minor glitches, right?
Not at all. They include really serious things like deepfake intimate images, even chatbots allegedly implicated in a teenager's suicide. It really highlights the double-edged sword of these powerful new technologies.
Wow.
The threat landscape is just evolving faster than most organizations can keep up. We've got over 150 ransomware families proliferating, getting more sophisticated, and AI is directly fueling that sophistication.
Which brings us to this thing people call the AI arms race in cybersecurity. Because the cybercriminals, they're using AI too, and they're getting much, much better at it.
Unfortunately, yes.
I mean, AI tools like ChatGPT can mimic a company's writing style so well, you might genuinely believe an email came from your own boss or team.
It's getting very convincing.
Yeah, and just in the fourth quarter of 2024 alone, over 989,000 phishing attacks were reported, nearly 1 million in one quarter.
Staggering numbers.
And adding to this urgency is a massive talent shortage. CompTIA's CyberSeek tool reports nearly 470,000 U.S.-based job openings needing cybersecurity skills. That's between May 2023 and April 2024.
Almost 500,000 open jobs.
Yeah, and for dedicated cybersecurity roles, U.S. employment in this area is projected to grow over 260% above the national average rate. The demand is just off the charts.
And the sector itself, it isn't just growing. It's becoming incredibly sophisticated, specialized. Organizations are rapidly adopting things like zero-trust models.
That's the never trust, always verify idea, right?
Exactly, even for internal systems. They're coupling that with AI-driven detection systems.
Yeah.
And managed security services are stepping in, trying to fill that talent gap through partnerships, through better staff training. Plus, the sector's expanding beyond just traditional IT security. It's moving into broader risk management. Munich Re, for example, expects the global cyber insurance market to hit over $16 billion in 2025.
$16 billion for cyber insurance.
Yeah, it just underscores how cybersecurity is becoming this fundamental piece of risk management for all industries. It impacts your brand reputation, customer loyalty, everything. So this is a sector where demand consistently outpaces supply, regulations are tightening everywhere, and frankly, the cost of not investing is existential. It's not just hot. It's absolutely essential.
Essential indeed. And speaking of foundational shifts, maybe none is more profound than the revolution happening in how we power our world. It's time to talk about renewable energy.
Yes, the clean power revolution.
Exactly. And this isn't just about, being environmentally conscious anymore. This is about the fundamental restructuring of global energy systems. And the growth numbers. They are truly staggering.
They really are.
The global renewable energy market size was estimated at $1.21 trillion in 2023. That's projected to triple to $3.6 trillion by 2030.
Triple in 7 years.
Yeah. Growing at an annual rate over 17%. And the pace of deployment is just as impressive. 585 gigawatts were added last year alone. That's over 92% of all new capacity additions. A record annual growth rate of 15.1%. Renewables aren't just growing, they're absolutely dominating new energy capacity.
And we're hitting milestone after milestone that really shows how significant this shift is becoming. So in 2025, renewables-based electricity generation, it's projected to actually overtake coal-fired generation.
Overtake coal, finally.
Yeah. Then, by 2026, both wind and solar power generation are set to surpass nuclear power.
Okay.
Then in 2027, solar PV generation surpasses wind, and by 2029, solar PV is expected to surpass hydropower, becoming the single largest renewable power source.
So solar becomes king of renewables.
Looks that way. Just speaks volumes about the incredible momentum behind this whole sector.
So what's driving this phenomenal growth? It seems like a perfect storm. Tech advancements, policy support, and just pure economic necessity.
That's a good way to put it.
On the tech side, we're seeing breakthrough innovations. Things like advanced solar cell technology, new developments in silicon, perovskite, tandem cells, all offering potentially higher efficiency, lower costs.
Right. And here's where we see those direct connections to the other sectors we've talked about. New demand sources are popping up. Clean tech manufacturing, AI, even carbon capture industries. They're all now competing among themselves and with other industrial customers to meet their huge power needs with 247 clean energy.
So more demand drivers.
Exactly. Clean tech manufacturing plants alone could add 11 GW of demand by 2030. And remember our AI discussion.
The 44 gigawatts for data centers.
Precisely. Those data centers will drive roughly 44 GW of additional demand by 2030. That creates this immense need for 247 clean energy. So the AI revolution is directly accelerating the need for renewables. It's a virtuous cycle.
That's a really powerful connection. And geographically, this growth is global, but it seems particularly concentrated in some areas.
It is. Asia-Pacific accounted for a really significant share, over 40% of revenue in 2023. That's driven by the increasing demand for renewables and these massive solar power projects going up in China and India.
Okay.
The economic fundamentals have just completely shifted. Renewables are now in this race with other clean generation options to fill critical resource gaps. And they have advantages. The technology is mature, the costs are low, and they can scale up relatively quickly.
So it's really moved beyond just an environmental story.
Oh, absolutely. It's an economic necessity now, which makes renewable energy one of the most compelling sectors out there, really.
Definitely. And as we move towards that more sustainable, secure energy future, we still need the digital infrastructure, right, to connect us all.
Always need the pipes.
Exactly. So let's talk about a sector that's been kind of quietly outperforming while maybe everyone's attention was focused on AI, technology, and communication services.
Ah, the quiet achiever.
Yeah, it might surprise some people, but this sector has been absolutely thriving. Last year, get this, for the first time in 15 years, the communication services sector finished as the top performer in the S&P 500.
15 years, wow.
Driven by successes from telecom companies like T-Mobile, streaming services like Netflix, the sector gained nearly 34% in 2024.
Quick break. If you're enjoying all things investing, be sure to follow, rate, and share this episode with a friend who needs to start investing smarter. Got questions? We might answer them in the next episode. Now, back to the show.
And that performance, it's really underpinned by a fundamental shift in how we communicate. People want more information, faster, higher quality, lower latency, and across way more devices.
Streaming, podcasts, smart devices. They're just everywhere now.
Exactly. The streaming wars, for instance, that whole battle created an entirely new category of digital infrastructure investment. You've got traditional media companies basically transforming themselves into tech companies.
Right.
And at the same time, the telecoms providers have become content platforms. This convergence is creating new value propositions, new revenue streams, and it's driving significant investment.
And there's this powerful trend you mentioned, efficiency innovation happening within the broader tech sector that kind of impacts all of this.
Yes, this is really fascinating. So back in 2022, the smallest AI model that could score higher than 60% on that big MMLU benchmark, it was PaulM with 540 billion parameters. Huge model.
540 billion.
But by 2024, Microsoft's Phi 3 Mini with just 3.8 billion parameters, so way smaller, achieved the same performance threshold.
Whoa. From 540 billion down to 3.8 billion in 2 years.
That's a 142-fold reduction. It's incredible efficiency innovation.
What does that mean for the bigger picture?
Well, it's profound. This efficiency breakthrough isn't just about saving money on computation. It means AI can now be deployed in far more nimble, specialized applications. It opens up entirely new markets that were maybe previously too expensive or too niche to even serve.
Oh, so smaller, cheaper models mean broader use.
Exactly. It's a virtuous cycle that's driving growth across the whole sector. And this sector also benefits hugely from how work patterns have evolved. Remote work, hybrid models, They're not temporary anymore.
So you're here to stay.
Pretty much. And that demands sophisticated communication infrastructure. Robust video conferencing, collaboration platforms, all that stuff is essential now.
And what about the revenue models here? They seem pretty strong.
They do. The communication services sector relies heavily on advertising and subscription-type revenue, and that tends to rise when the economy is expanding. What's really compelling, though, is that these companies have built incredibly sticky revenue models.
Sticky how?
High switching costs. Think about changing your mobile provider or your main streaming service. It's a hassle. Plus, powerful network effects. The more people use a platform, the more valuable it becomes.
Right, makes sense.
So from an investment perspective, these sectors, tech and communication services, they offer something quite unique. They're benefiting from current trends, like streaming and remote work. And they're building the infrastructure for future trends.
Like 5G for IoT, cloud for AI.
It's exactly. 5G networks enabling the Internet of Things, cloud platforms supporting those huge AI workloads we talked about, streaming services pioneering new content formats. These sectors are really positioning themselves right at the center of the digital transformation.
Okay, now let's shift focus a bit. Let's talk about a sector that's been through some, well, significant turbulence, but is showing remarkable signs of a comeback: healthcare and biotechnology.
Yeah, after a tough 2024, things are looking up.
Definitely. Healthcare is expected to bounce back in 2025. And look at the valuation, a forward PE ratio significantly lower than the S&P 500. That suggests these companies might be undervalued relative to their projected earnings. So healthcare stocks seem to offer a pretty favorable risk-reward profile right now.
Better entry point, potentially.
Right. But this isn't just about valuation catching up. We're seeing a fundamental transformation in how healthcare actually operates. It's being driven by tech innovation, demographic shifts, aging populations, and some significant policy changes, too.
And what's truly profound here, again, is the accelerating impact of the AI revolution, specifically on healthcare.
AI again. It touches everything.
It really does. Pharmaceutical and medtech companies, they're at the forefront, using AI to revolutionize their value chains, especially in drug and product development. Health payers, providers, they're deploying more AI apps to optimize revenue, manage volume, and crucially, help fill those clinical labor shortages.
So AI isn't just making things more efficient, it's actually enabling new kinds of treatments and diagnostics.
Exactly. We're seeing AI systems that can detect cancer earlier than human radiologists can, systems that can predict when a patient might deteriorate even before the clinical signs are obvious. And AI is accelerating drug discovery processes that used to take decades.
That's incredible potential.
It is. And the biotechnology subsector is particularly exciting right now. Last October, Anthropic founder Dario Amodei published this manifesto where he speculated that in the future, AI could be more than just a tool for data analysis. It could be a virtual biologist who performs all the tasks biologists do.
A virtual biologist.
Yeah. Now, we're still in the early stages, obviously.
Right.
But imagine AI systems that can actually design new drugs, predict how effective they'll be, maybe even run virtual clinical trials. These are really important steps we're starting to take in 2025.
From a market perspective, healthcare also has some pretty compelling characteristics, doesn't it?
It does. It's largely recession resistant, for one. People always need healthcare.
True.
It benefits from aging demographics, which drives consistent demand growth. And it's experiencing a policy environment that seems to be becoming more favorable to innovation.
How so?
Well, the use of AI in 2025 looks like it'll be accelerated by a more flexible regulatory environment. It seems the new administration is likely to shift oversight more towards self-governance in this sector, creating more room for innovation to happen faster.
Okay, interesting. And new investment categories are popping up too.
Absolutely. Things like telemedicine, which exploded during the pandemic and is here to stay, personalized medicine, tailoring treatments to individuals, precision therapeutics, digital therapeutics, entirely new ways of delivering care.
So investing in this sector feels like it's about more than just the financial return.
I think so. It's really about solving fundamental human problems with increasing precision and efficiency. If you connect that to the bigger picture, it just underscores how innovation in healthcare is directly tackling some of humanity's biggest challenges.
Building on that theme of transformation, let's talk about a sector many investors might overlook, but it's showing tremendous strength: financial services.
The banks and fintechs.
Exactly. It might seem like a traditional mature sector, but what's happening in fintech and digital financial services, it's nothing short of revolutionary.
It really is moving fast.
And the financial sector looks set to benefit from strong post-election momentum, favorable economic conditions. With interest rates expected to stay elevated through 2025, institutions like banks and insurance companies seem pretty well positioned to capitalize on those trends.
hmm The rate environment helps their margins.
Right.
But the really big story is the pervasive digital transformation that's reshaping financial services. It's creating entirely new competitive dynamics.
Like what, for example?
Well, we're seeing the rise of embedded finance. That's where financial services get integrated directly into non-financial apps and platforms.
Oh, like getting loan approval while you're shopping online.
Exactly that. Or how your rideshare app might offer insurance products. This creates entirely new revenue streams, new business models. Then there's crypto and blockchain. Despite all the volatility, they continue to drive innovation.
Still relevant then?
Definitely. We're seeing central banks developing digital currencies, stablecoins gaining more institutional adoption, blockchain-based settlement systems that can reduce costs and increase efficiency.
And AI's role here.
Oh, huge. AI transformation is well underway. It's being used for fraud detection, algorithmic trading, personalized financial advice, risk assessment. We're seeing an increasing share of companies reporting real value creation from using generative AI, especially in areas like marketing and sales.
And the regulatory side seems to be getting clearer, at least for some parts.
Somewhat. While there's still quite a bit of uncertainty around crypto regulation specifically, traditional fintech applications seem to be experiencing a more supportive framework, one that enables innovation while still trying to maintain consumer protection.
So, from an investment angle, financial services offers this interesting mix.
Yeah, it's benefiting from the current economic conditions like higher rates, but it's also positioning itself for future growth through all this technology adoption. The companies that can successfully combine that traditional financial expertise with cutting-edge tech, they're the ones creating significant value.
And we're seeing deals happening too, mergers, partnerships.
Lots of activity. Traditional banks are acquiring fintech companies to get their tech and talent. Tech companies are launching financial services products. This convergence is really shaking things up, creating new competitive dynamics and consequently new investment opportunities.
So, this really traditional sector is undergoing a pretty profound digital revolution.
Absolutely, creating entirely new dynamics and significant opportunities for anyone who understands these shifts.
Okay, finally, let's talk about a sector that might seem, I don't know, old school on the surface, but is absolutely critical to everything else we've discussed, industrials and infrastructure.
The foundation, really.
Exactly. And this sector is experiencing a true renaissance. It's being driven by reshoring, the climate transition, and major technological upgrades. The industrial sector looks set to gain from increased infrastructure investments and these significant reshoring trends.
Bringing manufacturing back.
Yeah. Plus, spending in aerospace and defense is expected to rise, especially in AI and unmanned vehicle applications. So industrials are really poised for growth.
And there are several really powerful trends converging to drive this industrial renaissance. First, think about the massive infrastructure investment needed just to support the energy transition.
Building all those renewables.
Right. Building renewable energy infrastructure, like enhanced geothermal systems that could provide 247 baseload power. That requires significant industrial capacity, cross-sector investment in things like new drilling techniques. Second, there's that AI infrastructure boom we keep coming back to.
The data centers again.
All those data centers need to be built, powered, cooled. Remember the 44 GW of additional demand by 2030? That translates into massive demand for construction, electrical equipment, cooling systems, specialized infrastructure, all industrial outputs.
Okay, so energy transition, AI infrastructure, what else?
Third, the reshoring trend itself. Load growth just from new clean tech manufacturing plants could add another 11 GW of demand by 2030. This reflects that anticipated long-term trend of supply chains coming back home, partly to meet domestic energy needs. Companies bringing manufacturing back requires huge industrial infrastructure investment.
Makes sense. And fourth,
Defense and aerospace modernization. With geopolitical tensions rising, military tech advancing rapidly, there's increased spending on defense infrastructure, particularly in areas involving AI and autonomous systems. Again, driving industrial demand.
and the sector is also becoming more high-tech itself, right? It's not just about smokestacks anymore.
Not at all. We're not just talking traditional manufacturing. We're talking smart factories, automated production lines, AI-optimized supply chains. This sector is foundational to pretty much every other growth trend we've discussed today.
You really can't separate them.
You can't. You can't have renewable energy without the industrial infrastructure to build it. You can't have AI data centers without industrial construction. You can't have electric vehicles without battery manufacturing facilities. It's all connected.
So the companies winning here are the ones blending the old and the new.
Exactly. Those that can combine traditional industrial expertise with cutting-edge technology. They're using AI for predictive maintenance on machinery, IoT for optimizing supply chains, advanced materials for making next-generation products. This sector is just essential, providing the physical foundation for this new economy.
Now, here's what I think makes this moment in economic history so compelling. These sectors we've talked about, they aren't growing in isolation, are they?
Not at all. They're creating this intricate web of interconnected growth, and that's amplifying opportunities across the entire economy.
Can you give some examples of those connections?
Sure, think about the relationships we've sort of uncovered just talking through this. AI drives massive energy demand.
Right, which boosts renewables and industrial infrastructure.
Exactly. Renewable energy, in turn, creates new manufacturing demand while also potentially reducing costs for energy-intensive industries. Cybersecurity becomes essential as every single one of these sectors digitizes more.
Healthcare and AI.
Healthcare is being revolutionized by AI, while also creating new kinds of financial services products like specialized insurance and financial services themselves. They're not only enabling investment in all these other hot sectors, but they're also being profoundly transformed by technology.
So success in one area really ripples outwards.
It does. Success in one sector often translates directly into opportunities in others. And companies that can operate across multiple sectors, that can be, say, both a technology company and an energy company, they're potentially positioned for truly outsized returns.
So what does all this mean for you, our listener? Whether you're an investor, an entrepreneur, a business leader, what are the key takeaways?
Well, first, I think we're in a period of really significant sector rotation. Traditional investment approaches might not capture the full opportunity here. The fastest growing sectors, often, they didn't even really exist as distinct categories just a few years ago.
That's a great point. Second,
Second, diversification across these hot sectors might actually be more important now than traditional geographic or asset class diversification. Yes, there are correlations, but these sectors also offer quite distinct risk profiles and growth trajectories.
Okay.
Third, the companies that will truly win, I believe, are those that can successfully integrate technologies and operate across these sector boundaries. Pure-play companies focused on just one narrow thing, they might face more competition and maybe slower growth than those that can combine different capabilities.
And fourth?
And fourth,
Yeah, the sheer speed of change. It means today's leaders aren't necessarily guaranteed to be tomorrow's winners. Especially in rapidly evolving sectors like AI and renewables, technological disruption can happen incredibly quickly. You have to stay nimble.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let me share what I'll be watching in the coming months, sort of as indicators of continued strength in these sectors.
Okay, what's on your radar? In AI, I'll be watching enterprise adoption rates. Are companies moving beyond experiments?
Right.
And the development of AI agents that can handle truly complex tasks. That transition from experimental to production AI, that's where real value capture happens.
Moving beyond the hype.
Exactly. In cybersecurity, I'll be watching regulatory developments for sure, and the emergence of new AI-powered security tools. Because the sector's growth really depends on staying ahead of increasingly sophisticated threats.
Constant evolution there.
For renewable energy, I'll be watching grid integration challenges. Can we actually handle all this new clean power and energy storage developments? Because the ability to provide reliable 247 clean energy is key for long-term success.
Storage is crucial.
In communication services, I'm looking for new content formats, the continued rollout of advanced network technologies like 6G maybe down the line. This sector's success relies on creating new ways for people to connect and consume information.
Always needing more bandwidth, new experiences.
For healthcare, I'm really eager to see AI clinical trial results and regulatory approvals for AI-assisted diagnostics. That real-world evidence of AI's benefits is what will drive broader adoption.
Proof points matter.
In financial services, I'll be watching embedded finance adoption. How quickly is that spreading? And cryptocurrency institutional integration.
Yeah.
Is big money really moving in? That digitization continues to accelerate.
Yeah, the institutional piece is key for crypto.
And finally, in industrials, I'll be looking for major infrastructure spending announcements, smart factory deployments, because that physical infrastructure for the digital economy, it's still very much being built right now.
Lots to keep an eye on.
Definitely. So, as we conclude today's deep dive into these hot sectors for 2025, I want to leave you with this thought. We're not just witnessing, sector rotations or simple cyclical trends. We are living through the emergence of a fundamentally new economy.
A paradigm shift.
I think so. This new economy, it's characterized by the convergence of digital and physical systems, the integration of AI across pretty much everything, the huge transition to sustainable energy, and the emergence of entirely new ways value is created and exchanged. The sectors we've discussed today, AI, cybersecurity, renewables, communication services, healthcare, financial services, industrial, etc., they aren't just hot investment themes. They are the essential building blocks of this new economy.
The foundations.
So for investors, this means potentially unprecedented opportunities if you can identify and invest in the companies building this new infrastructure. For entrepreneurs, it means massive addressable markets in sectors being created or completely transformed.
Huge potential there.
And for business leaders, it really means a critical need to understand and adapt to these changes, or, frankly, risk being left behind.
Adapt or perish, almost.
It feels that way sometimes. And the powerful trends we've explored today, they aren't just about financial gains. They represent innovation, transformation, progress, addressing some of the biggest challenges of our time: climate change, cybersecurity threats, healthcare access, financial inclusion, the need for sustainable growth.
These sectors are tackling the big problems.
Exactly. So consider how this deep dive empowers you, our listener, not just to observe these monumental shifts, but maybe to strategically engage with them, perhaps even shaping your own role, your own career trajectory within this rapidly evolving new economy. Food for thought.
Thanks for tuning in to All Things Investing. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a tip that could boost your financial future. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and wherever you get your money advice. Until next time, keep investing in yourself. Financial disclaimer. The information provided on the All Things Investing podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. Always do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor or other qualified professional before making any investment decisions. The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guests, and do not constitute official recommendations. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. By listening to this podcast, you agree that the host and associated parties are not responsible for any financial decisions you make based on the content provided.